How many of you can relate to this gentleman on the screen, right? We live in this world of so much digital distraction, screen addiction. It's an incredible thing. How do you become the leader that everybody wants to follow when you're constantly being buzzed and dinged and ringed? How do you do it? Especially when the number one culprit for hijacking our attention is the smartphone, right? The smartphone has a tendency of hijacking our attention on such a level, it's an astonishing thing, you know? We also realize, right, Deloitte did an amazing study where they analyzed how much people check, at least in the United States, how much they check their phones. In the US, we're checking them about 48 to 50 times a day, just checking it, right? And then another company did an amazing research on it. They found out that we actually touch our phones, touch them, 2,600 times a day. See what I mean? The timing was impeccable. You're not a plant, right? That was perfect. So we keep this in mind, right? And when we talk about interruptions like this, it's a phenomenal phenomena, right? And it's amazing because, you know, when we talk about disruptions, usually in our business, in financial services, right, or really in the way people are looking at trends and future trends, they tend to think about disruptions like companies like, let's say, Uber disrupting transportation or Airbnb disrupting hospitality. That tends to be the way we think about disruptions. But today we're going to look at disruptions in a different way because it turns out that the greatest disruptions are interruptions. Interruptions that hijack our attention span as we're doing business. And it's so subtle, we don't even necessarily know it's happening, but it is. And in the United States, for example, it's costing us interruptions. I'm trying to express my ideas, my phone goes off, her phone goes off, and we lose our train of thought. Every time this happens, every time phones go off, every time we get buzzed and dinged and ringed, there's a cost. In the United States, there's been a value added to it. A company by the name of Basics did some research on this. It turns out it's about $600 billion a year that we pay in almost a silent way, in a rather insidious way, for the cost of not completing our ideas. So this is something we're going to explore very deeply.